Alright, so today, welcome to my channel. Obviously, I'm Zodiac Alex, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about what is the meaning of ignoring stands for. Ignoring is like, well, this is what the title is going to say. Because the point being is that ignoring is a negative feeling. Okay, everyone tries to not get ignored. But it seems to be how it seems unlikely, it is unusual to us. Now, the point being is that when I get to back to this situation here, we have to understand of what's going on here. Really, like we have to face facts. We have to embrace our opportunities. You know, there's always lots of ways. But the point being is that when you do feel ignored, you're trying to stay positive as much as you can. Ignoring and stressing and have no assistance whatsoever. It is a pain in the butt, really. Always I would like to say something else, but not should not say it. But the point being is that when I think to myself about being, you know, ignored a couple few hours ago, it is a pain, really. It is because, people don't understand what it feels like to be different to everybody. And that's how it is, okay, with me. But the point being is that it's like we have to take a stand of how it feels. We have to take a stand. So, the further ado, I'll be doing oracle cards to see about this interesting problem that I'm having. And I know that all of you will say, what is Zoe Alex having a problem with? Well, let me explain. It is called about ignoring. That's what it's called. It's called ignoring, ignorant. It's all about that. So the point being is that when I'm going to get the oracle cards, I'll view the playing cards as the cups, pentacles, wands, and swords as the hearts is airs, water signs. The clubs represents fire signs, spades represents air signs, and diamonds represents earth signs. So if you do all that in that category, that's going to go, okay? So, but the point being is that let's get back to my own skit about ignoring. It is a way that is a negative feeling out there. It really is because you're trying to identify what's going on. You're trying to. But let's not stop there, shall we? We're going to figure out about these cards that I'm going to explain, and then we're going to work our way with the other cards that you have seen. So native spirit is kind of like new to me. They haven't been, you know, doing that. So we're going to figure out what does it say, and then we're going to reveal it. Okay. So let me just get it all great about why is it being ignored. And we're going to place one card, and then we're going to see who's ignored and who's not ignored in the situation of the playing cards, and then about the oracle cards, whatnot. Because yes, it feels like I'm a very, kind of like not having a good day today, but it seems to be how it is. So if anybody wants to take a, subscribe to my channel, obviously I hope that you will, and then basically give this a video a like as well. Okay, so just remember how it is, and then we're going to get started from there. So, the further ado, let's start with this first one, shall we? The first one is it says Spirit Keeper of the South. That's a really good card. It seems to be that I'm trying to figure out about Spirit Keeper of the South. If we think about we have a south here, north there, east there, and west there at the same time. But let's not stop there. We have to figure out about who is ignoring who in this situation. And I am going to figure this out, okay? Now, let's see how that is, shall we? First, we're going to do the cards, and then we're going to figure this out at the same time. So, we have that, and let's see. And it says patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. So there is patience in a way. Now, we're going to explain why that there's patience. Patience means that you're waiting. You're waiting for something. You're not being impatient, but you're having patience, okay? Patience is trying to drive off the anger, okay? It drives off the negative feeling. But let's not stop there. We're going to keep going. So now we have the spirit of the south, spirit keeper of the south. Now we're going to figure out what this card means after it. And yes, um, yeah. Now it says the spirit keeper of the north. So now we have south and north at the same time. I just talked about that. That's south, that's what my computer is. The north is like where my stove is, for example. That's what it seems to be. So that's interesting. Now we're going to get the point where we're going to figure out what's the next card after patience. And it says love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Really, that's the meaning of it, but we're going to figure out who is being ignored here in this situation here. So now we have basically a good picture here. We have patience, we have love, there's always these circumstances. So now we're going to figure out what's the next card that is after the Spirit of the North. And it says Spirit Keeper of the East. Now this is interesting. Now we have the South, North, and East. So that's interesting. Now we have to figure this out, okay? So we have basically different sides here, okay? So we have, we have the left, middle, and right, if you can see that. Left is here, middle's here, right's here at the same time. We have to figure out who is being ignored here, okay? We have to figure that out because the point being is that when I think about this picture, I think, okay, I can make sense. I have patience, yes I am. I have love, yes I do. But the spirit of keeper of the east, the south, and the west, it seems to be that there's something unusual happens in this situation here. Now, the last card that I'm going to say in this situation here, we have basically the last one, and it says loneliness. I know that I am never alone. Now that's a good question. Now that's very interesting. Loneliness. Yes, I am alone in this situation here, but it's simple. It's simple as that. Where, let's say for example, you need help with cooking, and I'm very good at cooking. I am very good, but when you think about cooking, meat called spam, not spamming your email or whatever. No, spam is a good meat, you know, good protein. But when I was cooking spam, I needed some help. Well, I tried to, and there's no assistance, nothing. So I felt ignored, okay? Because there was no one answering the, door or anything like that. So I was feeling ignored. I was feeling stressed. I was feeling anger. What is this, okay? So that's why I decided to make this video. And the point being is that yes, I'm feeling loneliness. Yes, I'm feeling patience. Yes, I'm feeling, spirit keeper of the north, the south, the east. And you go always these emotionals. It's emotional switch. That's what it's called. You're trying feeling happy, and your happy is gone because now you're feeling sad, feeling angry, and then it all switches from the anger comes into a sad, misunderstandings, miscommunication, and all that. And it ruffles my own mind here because it feels like this. Okay, there are times like these when we need help, you know, like there's always a saying called never cry over spilt milk. Okay, that's an old saying. But it seems to be that because when I feel ignored by anything, like cooking wise, for example, and have assistance, it's very rare because, I would have assistance, but not really. Because being ignored is like, um, for example, it's like having a dog barking and the dog's barking, dog's barking, and it's irritating the owner. And the owner is just saying like, be quiet, or I'm not gonna let you out, whatever. And that is actually pretty ignoring. So so it seems to be how that is. Like I'm comparing my cooking, you know, I need this some help for cooking, for example, and then I'm comparing between a dog and the owner, barking wise and saying I'm not going to help you with that. So it seems to be that it is a way of how it seems to be in my point of view, and that's what it is, right? Because that's what it feels like. Now, the point being is that in this situation here, because I just shuffled these, we're gonna find one more, okay, one more situation here, and the one card is Song of the Wild. That's a good card too. So now we have Song of the Wild. We have the Spirit Keeper of the East, the South, the North. Then we have Patience, Love, and Loneliness at the same time. So now we have a clear picture on this. But what does it feel like when you're being ignored? Okay, that's the most negative feeling in this reading. And I'll do that. So let's see what the cards are saying. The first card represents the Ace of Spades. How lovely. The Ace of Spades represents Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, because that's an air sign. Now, basically, if you're feeling ignored, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, this reading would be working for you at the same time. It does feel like there's always something rather than nothing you're trying to decide about. You can have things that are going your way and whatnot. But it seems that when you have patience, you have love, you have loneliness, you know, you have the Spirit Keeper of the North, the South, the East, and the Song of the Wild, it always seems to be how it is. So it seems to be how interesting this is, because when I think about this, I think, am I doing a right thing? And maybe it really it is. But the point being is that in this situation here, it's like when I think about being ignored, it's very subtitle. It's very negative. Actually, it's a negative feeling, and it is. It is very, very, because I don't usually get upset. I'm not, I'm not. I'm like a positive person. But the point being is that when I'm upset, it's like you understand how that is. Because in this reading here, you're trying to decide of what's happening. You're trying to embrace the opportunity. Did you do something wrong, or did they did something wrong? And whoever's they, if it's even a mother, a father, whatever, it seems to be it's like this, okay? And when it happens to this situation here, you think that, oh, okay, I am being ignored. It's like that's how it is, right? And it feels how ignorant that sounds, right? Because when when someone like me needs help with assistance of cooking, for example, it it is a pain, really, because I never had this problem before. I never do. But the point being is like cooking something that you never have before. Never have I ever cooked what I just said, like spam, for example, the protein. it seems how very interesting how that sounds, because this reading goes to from a different perspective, a different way, a different satisfactory whatnot. And it seems to be how that is, because you're trying to take things as for granted, right? And that's how it is. So it seems to be how this seems to be. It's like a almost like a setup, not really a setup, but it seems to be how that this is trying to be all good, and it is quite good. But the point being that when it's like very very disheartening, it kind of like leaves you out of ordinary. Like it would just leave you and saying, okay, I'm done with this reading. I'm gonna leave, for example. Like I'm not gonna really do that. But that's what it seems to be in this situation here. So it is very very saddening in this story because it feels like that. Now, that's for you, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. I'm not it's not over yet, but let me see how it is. What's the opposite of the Ace of Spades? The Jack of Clubs. Yeah, so this is how it is. So now it's Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So now if you're feeling ignored, think about how this is. Okay? It tries to amaze you how it seems to be. It tries to give you some point of situation here. That's what it is, right? For me, I'm just giving you what this is because being ignored, that's what it's called, but this is what it feels like. So it seems to be like that. And what's the opposite of the Jack? It's the Queen of Clubs, so still the same thing. So it's still Leo, Sagittarius, Aries in this situation. Wow. So that's how it is. Uh, is there anything else that my cards are saying to me? The Queen of Hearts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So now we have water signs in this picture. Uh, basically it'll be Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Yeah. So basically that's what it is. Good thing I have three. No, I have air, fire, and water in this situation here because it is involved this at the same time because that's what it is, right? It kind of like is feeling like you're trying to not be ignored, but it is very devastating. It is because that's what it is. And so while I'm going to read you, I'm going to read I think the Song of Wild. I think that would help me out with staying positive. But I think I'll read that to you. I just have to find it in the book. So let's see. Let's see. All right. So let's see, shall we? All right. So it says Song of the Wild, and I'm going to read this to you. Read this card to you, and then we're going to end the video. So this is how it is. Song of the Wild. It says, pardon me. New horizons await you. You're ready to savor the wonders of the world. Take some risks. Answer the call of the wild. Step out of your comfort zone. Live passionately. Take steps in the direction of freedom. Expand beyond your limitations and boundaries. Maybe it's time to take a journey or do something new and exciting. Your native spirit wants you to know you are entering a period of expansion, going beyond your self imposed limitations. Even if you feel hesitant, this is the time to try something new and do things in a different way. You might even visit far off lands or wild natural places. Adventure often entails risk, but without it, life can become lack, lack, lackluster and tangent. There's a vast, new, and wondrous vista just around the corner, but you will never see it if you don't venture out. The journey, it says plan a trip, take some classes that get you out of your comfort zone. Try new styles, do the same things that they always done, but new in a new and different way. Push beyond your boundaries, step out the character, spend time in the wilderness. But I really won't do that. But the point being is that when it says step out of your comfort zone, step out your out of character, that actually makes sense. Okay, step out of your uh, out of character. It means about that. It means about my spam food story kind of thing, my situation. It is like that because I ever cooked spam before. You know, the protein. I never cooked that. But the point being is that when I need assistance or something, I'm trying to have my limitations. I'm trying to have people around me, for example, to help me in some different ways. But it's not really easy because when people are, for example, busy, they try to ignore you, maybe some way. But let's not stop there because it just keeps going and going and going because that's how it is, right? So it seems to be how everything seems to be connected. It is a way of how that is, okay? Because like I say, it can try to give you like angerness and negative and all that. It gives you trauma and all that stuff because it's a negative feeling, right? So if I try to stay in my comfort zone and I try to do things in a different way, I might as well, right? Because that's what spirit is saying to Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, uh, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. That is nine zodiac signs, and that's what spirit wants to let you know about this because it is the same in ghosts. Okay, it's slow and steady wins the race, and I always keep saying that. But in this situation, it's a very a bummer situation, which means you want to be hungry, but really you don't know what to expect. And when you think about making other foods like sausages, for example, or something, it will give you a different way, right? So that's what it is. But before I let you all go, there's only one thing that you must learn from my reading here. Remember how you know, how it seems to be for my way. And I'll let you know about one thing about me is that sometimes whenever I'm happy, I get all talkative. But when I get angry, for example, well, I try to basically back off and just letting all of the anger out of me because that's what it is, right? You can't hold the anger inside you, but if you let it out, you'll feel fine after that. So, before I let you go, thank you very much and enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.